Okay, here we are. I did start to see some silicone finally come out of these breathers, and it just is taking a long time to migrate down and naturally rise. And this is the sort of thing too I'll mention with billing labor time and project costs. It's just like pour the silicone. There's a step in there in this project where it's like we pour the matrix. So it's a few words on the bill or on the project description. I've been here all day, from doing the necessary calculations to begin with, to getting this material open, everything that we've seen on camera so far, and the wait time in between, and babysitting. I mean, we've done 3 or 4 batches here, and not including setting this back up again after cleaning and sanding the jacket so that it wasn't prickly on the outside, from the fiberglassing to the tape, everything. There's just a lot of time spent. That being said, finally saw some silicone, so I used a little dab of Monster Clay and just struck off the rubber and quickly packed that into the hole. And I've actually been collecting a little bit of this at a time, and I'll collect this up here too. Every little bit counts, and I'll put it in there if I can. Also, each different batch is in its own new container, and then when I'm finished, it'll sit here, and really all the sides drain and create a little film on the bottom. And a couple times now I've bothered to tip these over, scrape that all up, strike around in there, get it onto a popsicle stick, and get it in here, because it's expensive. And frankly, I calculated the weight. I've been working toward that math to be sure that I've made about as much as I need to here, and this remnant in each of these containers is a factor of what I calculated. If it's not making it into the mold, then I'm working against myself, and we're compounding the error. So if I miss 1% here, and 1% here, and 1% here, and 1% again, I got 4% of my volume, and I'm being a little bit crazy with my numbers, but still, the fact remains, it should be in there. It shouldn't be being catalyzed and curing up in a container. It's just sloppiness. You'll also notice, and this is less about patting myself on the back, but just as a best practices thing, professional painters don't paint themselves. They don't paint their clothes, or they paint the wall. We're putting the rubber in the mold. We haven't taken a bath, as my dad would say, in the material here. There's a few drips. It's running around a little bit, but we try to be smart about it. And there's, like digging a hole, there's art to it. There's an art to cleaning the sides of this material off, clean the sides of this container off with a popsicle stick, and controlling the stream. That's been important since preschool. Remember, young men need to control their stream early on. But the point is, we want to be smart about all these peanut butter skills, I call them, in controlling the material, cleaning up the container, striking off the popsicle stick, and putting it into the mold. It's something that can get a foot in the door professionally if you know how to not make a mess when you're doing this. So at this time, I wanted to mention that I did see overflow, and I plugged the holes with clay, and we've gotten to a point where the fill spout, we're basically at that level now, and I'm not going to be able to add any more material. So rather than coming down flat onto the table directly and basically pulling that rubber back off the top surface of this cavity, if we sit back down, it'll pull back down and potentially suck air. I'm going to come down halfway. So I'm going to come back to where we began, and that'll give me the ability to add more effectively here, and then eventually I'll jump it down to fully flat on the table and top it off. Excuse me, I had a little snack here. And I'll top it off, and then we'll come back once it's cured, and I'll give you a sense of what it looks like after it's cured. But just wanted to update and then get back to it.